In yesterday's video, I spoke about how I was arrested in this 4-part series, and today is part 3 of that 4-part series, and that is me going to juvie and seeing a fight while I was in there. So I was arrested. I'm gonna spare you the details on being arrested because that'll come in part 4 and I don't want any spoilers. So I got taken down to the juvie. They take my picture, everything. They put me in a holding cell, and I had no idea that it was a holding cell. I really just thought that it was a regular cell that I was gonna stay in, and this cell was about 5 by 5. And I was 5'5" at the time. So I was trying every which way to get comfortable, but couldn't, and I was just sitting in there for hours. Until finally, one of the guards came around and brought me over to my cell. I get in my cell, and the first thing they say is that I'm a little too late for dinner, but they offered me some popcorn. I wasn't in there for long before one guy started noticing that there's a new guy. So I hear from his cell, "Hey, cell 1!" And I'm like, oh God, what does this guy want? Hey, cell 1! And I'm just ignoring this guy. I'm just eating my popcorn. Hey, cell 1! Just every minute or so. Hey, cell 1! And then he says, hey, cell 3, you wanna know what I hate? And then I hear cell 3, yeah, man, what's that? When cell 1 doesn't answer me back? I start laughing. I'm like, what? This dude's crazy. And the next day, I'm woken up early, take a shower, get all of my shower supplies. I go back in my cell, and a couple of hours later, hey, cell 1! Hey, cell 1! And I'm like, God, there really is no way to avoid this guy, is there? So I'm like, yeah, man, what's up? He's all like, hey, man, what are you in here for? And I just told him, I'm like, I stole cards. And he's like, you stole a car? I'm like, no, I stole cards. And then he's like, you stole a car? I'm like, no, cards with a D. And this dude's like, you stole a car? I'm like, yeah, dude, I stole a car. He's like, oh shit, bro, that's what I'm in here for too. I stole my parents' car and they reported it. I'm in there for about 4 days and nothing really happens. I mean, I got fed good, and every other night they gave me dessert. Just the strange thing is whenever I woke up, I looked down and I started panicking, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in juvie. On my second or third night there was a dude that came in that apparently was in a gang, and he stabbed another rival gang member. So he comes in, everything's normal, you know, the usual chatter. Then the next afternoon, I'm in pretty much this living room area, but we just watched a bunch of movies for maybe like an hour and then went back in our cell and repeated